Hello. I must apologise a bit because I've not had much opportunity to upload and finish some of my projects I've started, including this Scantic VCR-LP video recorder, which is an N1700 clone from Philips. I also was starting on some JVC DVD recorders. I have a mountain of goodies to do work on, so I'd like to at least show you all the things I've got lined up in the near future, and maybe you can have some input on what you'd like to see first. Let's get stuck in. So we have here a Panasonic AG4700, which uses I think it's a Panasonic K deck, and I want to show you this one, not because there's anything wrong with it, because actually this one works fine, but because there's a very common fault on these things. So I want to show you how to get that apart and replace the component that frequently fails in them. And then here we have a sweet little DV cam deck. It's a Sony DSR-20p. This has a mechanical fault. I don't know exactly what's wrong with it, but it looks to me as though the capstan is not running. So that's something we can take apart and repair. So here we have another consignment of video recorders that have been donated to me. At the bottom here we have a Panasonic AG7350. I think that's an SVHS machine, but the cassette door's missing, so some of the markings are missing off that one. Let's see if that machine works. Then we have a Sony BVW22P Betacam SP machine. Now, one of these did appear in one of my previous videos, and it didn't end well for the machine. But this one apparently does work. Well, we'll have a play with it and see. The big failing of this model, though, is it only has composite video out, so it's not actually one I'd run any tapes on. Then we have a UVW1200p player. Actually, these are quite good. The only failing with this model really is it doesn't have any VU meters, so you can't really see what you're doing with the audio, but they do have a time-based corrector. They are actually quite decent. And then on the top here we have a VHS machine, JVC BR6600. It doesn't do Super VHS, no time-based corrector, but it was kind of pitched as a professional machine. And I believe coming along later for this thing might be a rather large remote control, so it was used in a dubbing environment. And down here we just have the operating instructions, but not the machine, for an SVO 9620. You may have seen my video a little while ago about the Sony U-matic machine that was neither Sony nor U-matic. Well, this is very similar insofar as this is clearly designed to work with U-matic machines, but it's actually a VHS, Super VHS deck, yes. I don't have that machine, just the operating instructions, but you can definitely see the family similarity there. Some more machines here. Oh, look at this. It's Grundig Stenoret. Weird little dictation cassette format with these charming little tapes that have like a built-in tape counter. Let me show you that. This sort of winds its way along. What a lovely format. That's really interesting. So we'll get this working, shall we, later? And what could be in here? Well, hopefully this is another dictation machine. Oh, lovely, look at that. That's a Sony NT2M digital dictation machine. Now, if somebody could help me, I could really use a test cassette for that before I start working on it. So if anyone has a tape they could lend me, preferably with some recordings on it, that would be really appreciated. Right, what's in this great big box? Of all the projects I have to work on, this is the one I want to work on most. Well, what could it be? It has ears on it, so it's clearly professional equipment. Okay, it's a Tascam DA45HR. What's that? It's a DAT player or recorder. Now I already have a Tascam DAT recorder very similar to this. So you'd say, Why is this important? The clue is in the HR. High resolution. This can do, is it 20-bit? 24-bit high resolution DAT recording and playback, whereas nearly all other DAT machines are 16-bit only. This is definitely defective, needs some work. So that's the project I'm really looking forward to working on. So with all those goodies lined up, what else could I possibly have? Well, you'll have seen one of these on my channel before. This looks very nice and clean. It's a Grundig 2x4 Super, and I'm told it was working until fairly recently, and then it's died. So hopefully that'll be intact and a good candidate for restoration. And there is a tape in there which the previous owner would like me to try to run for him as well. Digitise. Now, of course, you will remember from my previous video on these, you do not plug these things in and just see what they do, because you can be rewarded with lots of smoke. You must change the mains filter capacitors before you even power that up. So that is very smart, isn't it? I can't see any defects on that at all. Spin around. Lovely looking machine. Lots to get on with. A longer term project is going to be this Ampex 1-inch C format video recorder, model VPR2B. This one's been modified to take large spools. It needs some components in the brakes, so I've got to order those in from somewhere. And there's also a time-based corrector to go with this, but unfortunately that got damaged in transit, so that's going to be a little bit more work than it should have been. And we had a part 1 a few weeks ago now for JVC DVD recorders, and one of the problems there was that I need some regulator chips for the DR300MH model, and I'd found an alternative to the original part, UCC 281-5, but that also appears to be unavailable. There are various people on eBay advertising them, but when you try to place an order they haven't got any. So I'm hoping we can find some alternative 5-volt regulator with a switched input signal that I can use in the JVC DVD recorders. If you know of anything, or if you have any such suitable parts, please send me a few, let me know. So we have this whole range of goodies to work on. Comments down below, please. What do you think I should work on next? I've kind of promised the Scantic, but if you guys say, oh look, really would like you to work on the Tascam DAT recorder or something else here, let me know and I might push that up the list a bit. So do remember to like, share and especially subscribe, and I'll do plenty more content, as you can see, on audio and video technology in the near future. Bye for now.